Listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Sorry for like the 5-minute delay.
I was ready.
Julia was
Against
here.
all odds, I was ready.
Julia was ready. That was actually a computer thing.
Yes, technical difficulties.
Which is nuts because like we're about to go live, about to push the button, and my computer decided that it needed to restart and update. So we were sitting here watching the percent go up, and then finally it restarted, and here we are. So happy Monday to you. Thanks for checking in with us on a beautiful Monday morning.
It actually is a happy Monday for once. We haven't had a happy Monday in a while, I feel like.
Last week we did the show on Wednesday, and I said happy Monday, forgetting that it was actually not Monday. But we are back to our regularly scheduled day, Monday morning. A very happy Monday morning, as Julia just said, because the Mets just took 2 out of 3 games against the Yankees in the Subway Series, which you talked about last week. Has the Subway Series kind of lost its luster a little bit? But honestly, after last night, I don't think so.
It's back.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But if you remember, also the last series they played was on 4th of July. The Mets took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. So the Mets did go 4 out of 6 against the Yankees this year. And this weekend especially was very important for both teams, not only because it was 9/11 and everything that surrounds that important day in history, but because both teams are on the verge of either being in or out.
Yeah.
There's 18 games left for the Mets. We will see what happens over the next 18.
How are you feeling now?
I think that these guys are about to go on a run.
Okay.
But, we'll get to your dad's theory in a second because I'm actually fully on board with it. Okay. And I think that he's going
to be so excited.
He is right on par with his feeling. And I agree. But you know what? We have 18 games left. We lived through 17 to go with 7 games up with 17 to play. So we know anything can clearly happen.
Yes.
The Mets are playing the Cardinals tonight. They're playing the Phillies, the Red Sox for 2, the Brewers, and then the Marlins for 4 at Citi Field, and then finishing their season in Atlanta. And I still believe that it will come down to the final 3 games of the season.
Okay.
All we have to do is make up 2 games.
Okay.
Over the next 16 games.
And then it comes down to that series.
15, because I'm not good at math.
Right.
We have to make up 2 games over the next 15, and then it comes down to the last series in Atlanta. So we'll see.
Oh boy. It's not that I don't believe, I'm just anxious about it. As a fan, I love how it's like so stressful. It's going to come down to the last game. Like you're in it. My wallet hates it. I like to financially prepare. I have been saving up money, but I just want to know, am I buying playoff tickets or do I have like the next 2 months of bills covered?
I said that the other day as well. I mean, the Mets, they were up on Saturday and we thought that, no lead is safe. It was only 2 runs, but you're thinking like, as you're sitting there in the stands, like, well, Mets won big last night. They could win tonight, have a chance to sweep tomorrow and, go on a little run here because momentum is so huge in baseball and clicking at the same time. You look at our lineup, Pete Alonso, who we'll get to in a second, but Pete's been playing great. He wasn't so hot over the past 3, but like when you look at the names on the jerseys and the guys that are put into the lineup every night, like, well, why can't these guys win every game? When they put the lineup card out, like, why can't they beat the Dodgers?
Yep.
They played very close games when they're out there in LA as well. So, and what is it? Their past 13 losses are all by 1 run or something crazy.
Yeah, it's like of their last like 27 or 26 games, 13 losses have been 1 run.
So if you think about it, if half of those games went their way and they had 6 extra wins, we're already in first place. I'm not even thinking about it. I mean, we're like only 1 game up, but still,
but you're in first place.
Right. Yeah. So the chips can fall where they may, but look at the Yankees, for instance. They had a 13-game win streak, and now they can't get out of their own way. They're playing like shit in the field. And I was actually watching the game last night on ESPN, dozing in and out. I'm glad I woke up towards the end.
Thank God.
But I had, I'm not used to staying up that late anymore. Saturday was a long day.
And they've been such long games. It's
I was
not even
at
that
Citi Field for 12 hours on Saturday. I got to the parking lot at 1 o'clock.
Ridiculous.
Because the Mets were like, no offense to them because they did a great job trying to help us out. But a couple contacts over there, and I'm jumping all around. They hit me up last week early, like right around this time last week, and they said, listen, U.S. Open's in town. It's the women's final on Saturday. The parking lot's going to be nuts. I think that we should try to either get you guys into the marina lot early or move you to this new marina lot, which we didn't even know existed. And I'm like, I'll do whatever you guys suggest. I got off the highway the other day at 1 p.m. Our old marina lot location, there was not even one car in it. And I'm like, what are we doing here this early?
Well, I mean, listen, that would require everyone to get there that early. Did most people, I didn't go to the game, did most people get to the tailgate around 2?
Most people got there pretty early because Pip Viper was there giving out the sunglasses and people want, you say the word free and like, hey, these are worth over $100.
Everyone's there.
People came down, which was smart. Come down, get your shades. If you're not chilling, like leave. It's up to you. But the old marina lot, on that Thursday game, that September 2nd game that we had, it was like the fill-in game or whatever, or like an extra game we added. My dad and Wayne both parked in that lot. We weren't tailgating, and they got like the last 2 spots in the lot on a Thursday night, and that's what kind of put up the red flag. Like, shit, maybe we can't use this lot. So shout out to the Mets for helping out, but we didn't need to be there that early, and we didn't need to move locations either. But
so you just had a nice long day.
I was there for 12 hours. I got home. It was like 1.
Darren loves
1:45 in the morning because we had to drop off Joey, and it was a long night. And then by the time I kind of get home and decompress, and I want to look at my emails, because like I can't go to bed.
I know.
I want to catch up before I go to sleep. So I was up till like 2 a.m. But so last night, anyway, I'm peeling the eyelids back. I'm trying to stay up. I watched the first couple innings, and then I fall asleep. Kelly came in because I was watching in another room. And she's like, are you awake? I'm like, yeah, I'm up. Like, I kind of like just woke up to watch like the 7th, 8th inning, but I'm glad I did because I got to see. You picked
the right spot.
Yeah, I got to see the whole Lindor drama, and it was excellent.
Sick. I missed the beginning of the game. I was working, but again, like you, I watched all the right parts. It was, oh my God, electric. It was so good. And so, should we talk about my dad's theory now?
Yeah,
do you want to jump into that? So,
well, before you bring up your dad, let me bring up my mom really quick.
Yes.
Because if you're watching live, you might be like, why the fuck?
I know we haven't addressed this.
Why is Darren wearing a scarf? It's like 80 degrees out in New York today. We are coming out with a few different scarves. This one's gigantic.
I love it.
It's huge, but you probably can't really tell from where you are. It looks like it's crocheted. And my mom has been making scarves and hats and stuff like that for years. We used to, before we had the license, because now she's obviously not like an approved vendor.
Right. So she was hustling them at the tailgates.
Awesome. I can't sell Mama Meenan's apparel anymore, but she used to make hats and scarves, and we would sell them on our website during the holidays. And she had like all the women that like she's friends with from like the church working with her. She like had like her own little sweatshop going on in Douglaston, Queens.
I love it.
So I had labels made that went in the hats that said like custom made by Mama Meenan or whatever. And then now we're working with our vendor, and we're like making something that looks very similar. She's probably gonna be pissed.
Cool. Give her royalties for this.
So these are coming out probably around Black Friday, but we have 3 different scarves coming out. So that's a little shout out to my mom. Let's get to your dad because I think he's spot on.
So as everybody knows, Francisco Lindor has the nickname Mr. Smiles. He's always happy, upbeat, positive, whatever, which I personally think is great. I also don't think that's like a shtick or a persona. I just think that's who he is as a person. But my dad says he thinks Francisco Lindor is at his most elite, his best complete self when he's pissed off and playing angry, as evidenced by punching Jeff McNeil in the face, allegedly, and coming back out and hitting a home run after the thumbs down gate when everyone was just talking crap about him for a whole day. Came out, he's been on a tear ever since. And last night, he started that game angry because the whistling thing was from the night before. And just 3 home runs. Every time he got more pissed, he played better. So I can't really disagree with it anymore. I don't think it's like my dad's like, oh, he's got to stop the whole positive shtick and just be pissed off. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's that easy.
Shtick.
I know. I think it's just who he is. And I think it's, and also baseball is such a mental game.
Yeah.
And his entire career, his mental game has been playing positive, playing happy, being upbeat, whatever. So I understand that, his first season, he's been really struggling. You don't want to stray that course because that's kind of like entering panic mode when you change everything you've ever done before. So I get it, but it's really fucking fun to watch Francisco Lindor play baseball angry. So
I thought it was phenomenal when him and Baez are challenging the entire dugout. Like, come on out, come on
Garrett
out.
Cole, sit down. He's the one going, shut up. Your freaking hamstring.
I thought it was great. So last night, if you missed it, I mean, I don't know where you were, but if you didn't see the replays or recaps by now, this was like my favorite moment of the home runs, because clearly you're not supposed to be jumping up and
I was
down
gonna
on the
say,
dugout.
how was nobody forcing them down?
I don't know.
Security is so tight down there.
You know what it is? Yeah, I don't know. But I think maybe because they weren't like on the aisle. If you're
Yeah.
near the aisle, it's where like usually there's like an open seat and that's where security sits. And I'm
Right.
not saying you should go do this.
Yeah.
I actually tweeted like, I'm sure security was kind of pissed at this, but like,
but it's awesome.
as far as the moment's concerned, I mean, the Mets tweeted it out too.
Yeah.
So as far as the moment's concerned, I thought it was huge. So if you're not watching, you're listening afterwards, there's about 8 or 9 fans jumping around on top of the Yankees dugout with a Puerto Rican flag.
So sick.
One guy's got a Carter jersey on. That's really cool. And they're just fired up. And it worked out to be like the perfect angle from that camera. Kind of like the perfect the other Sunday Night Baseball. Not clearly, I'm not as important as Francisco Lindor, but that perfect angle of
Jose?
Reyes and me with the Don't Trade Reyes sign
Speaking of
behind
which,
it. That's crazy.
isn't that wild?
Tell the fans what you're talking about.
Okay, do you have that picture available to
Did you
show?
tweet it or
I
something?
texted it to you.
Oh no, so you
Okay.
can tell the people.
But so
What newspaper was that?
I want to say the Daily News.
Okay.
Not sure, but so
2013.
yeah, no, earlier
Or
than
12.
that. 12.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm in the process of moving, so I'm packing up my whole house or whatever, and I'm going through boxes in my basement, and there's one of like from my childhood bedroom. I used to always take like newspaper, whatever, like front pages or anything that I liked and just hang them around my room, and I put them all in a scrapbook to save them. And there's one that I found, and it's from when Reyes was about to be a free agent, and they were like, oh, what will he do, whatever. And it's 2 pictures of 2 fans holding up signs, and the 2 fans are me and Darren.
Yeah.
We definitely
I'm
didn't
gonna
know
tweet
each
it out
other
right now.
because I was 15, 16 at the time, so we definitely didn't know each other. But it's so funny. I'm holding a sign that says "Pay Jose," and yours, it's what? Please stay, Jose.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because I was going through like, oh my God, it's Darren.
No, it's fun because the whole Jose Reyes stuff. I earlier in the season, that's when I had gotten in trouble for the sign with my website on it. So let me pull this up. I just tweeted out.
And I'm pretty sure the website's also in this picture in the newspaper.
I got smart with it. Yeah, check this out.
Oh, the little barcode.
Yeah, check this out.
Genius.
So that's you can't really see it that great, but that's Julia and on top, and I'm right underneath her with the "Please Stay Jose." You can't really see it, but if you want to check Twitter afterwards, I put a QR code on there.
That's so smart. That's fucking genius.
So there's a QR. It's like right when QR.
I was gonna say, and that's when it was like new. No one probably knew what that was.
Yeah, but like that's nuts because
isn't that crazy?
I remember this. I don't know if I saved this one, but I remember seeing it, and I just didn't. I was like, oh, there's some girl with a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I made that sign. Me and my dad went to the Don't Trade Reyes rally that was on the bridge, right?
Yeah.
So we were there at some point, just crossed paths, but
that's awesome.
so funny.
So we are going to have a round of Big Apple trivia coming up.
Yes, bringing it back.
This actually might be kind of like not breaking news, but like a new way for us to revitalize the show if you wanted to do it again, because then I could actually host from behind the scenes. Because remember, the hardest part was getting people to like correctly try to add themselves to the stream on Instagram.
Yes.
And then we'd have to copy it and then download the video and repost it.
Yeah.
So with this, we would stream it the same way.
Yeah. And also the only and it wasn't bad, but just if you're watching the replay, you don't see the chat on the screen. And the chat is the best part of Big Apple Trivia. Just watching it live is so much fun. So yeah, if there's a way to do that, listen.
No, I think it would basically be just like this.
Yeah.
Like you would start the stream at your house. I would produce it from wherever I am. But then I guess in a little bit, if we get some people that want to play, the invite button, you'll then see a bunch of people on the screen.
Okay, maybe we bring it back for the off season because I mean I need some time to settle into my new place.
Yep.
But then once I do, maybe
that'd be funny too. You can get Katie on there.
Katie can produce. She just got a new dog. Did you see? One-eyed German Shepherd puppy.
3 dogs?
3 dogs.
That's too much work.
It's so.
I don't want one.
He's
they got
so
3.
Cute. His name is Bucky. Okay, are we doing this now? Or
Not yet. Not yet. I just a couple more things to cover here because
I will say it is Lindor themed. Big Apple trivia.
So brushing up if you're listening and
start studying.
You know a good amount of stuff about Lindor. But so if we put this poll up, it just ended. I only put it up for 30 minutes. But if we put this poll up 2 weeks ago, this would be the complete opposite flip.
I was going to ask you to make this a poll because I'm so curious.
Now or a while ago?
Last night. I was gonna be like, you should make this a poll because I'm so curious.
So I take it back a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Actually, I don't take it back because I like it. I said he was a bad influence.
Yes.
That I said Baez was a bad influence on Lindor.
But
he's just an influence on Lindor. Not a bad one because these guys, watching them basically like that whole hand gesture with like, oh, come and get us was awesome. So if I had put this poll up last week, I think it would have been completely flip-flopped. But now the question was, should the Mets sign Baez after this season? Yes or no? Cut and dry. 85.1% said yes. 14.9% said no.
It's so easy to win New Yorkers over. Just fucking win.
But listen to this shit.
So
like, easy. I don't have the stats in front of me. I saw it last night before the game. Baez is having over the first, was it over the last 10 games? Over the first, shit, what was it? Damn, I'm totally fucking this up.
I don't know. I can't help
over since they've become Mets, since Cespedes became a Met, or
Cespedes?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Since Cespedes became a Met or Baez became a Met,
Got
they
it.
have like very, very similar numbers.
Huh.
Same amount of steals, same amount of home runs, batting average is almost the same, RBIs are almost the same. So like, if the rest of the team were doing their thing too, Baez basically be carrying us through.
That's the thing. It's like, I will always, I don't even care what happened. I will always love Yoenis Cespedes. I will always think of him as like an all-time Met just because he literally put the team on his back, and he's the reason that we went to the World Series that year. And I've said this before, but like, if a few of these guys can turn it on right now and just play to what they were supposed to be doing all year,
here we go.
And everyone can stay a little healthy, they have a shot. I mean, I don't know how deep into the postseason they make it, but like, it could be really, really fun. And we're seeing it. They're all turning on, and it's really, really fun to actually watch the Mets right now, which it wasn't for a month. So
here's the tweet from @Mets Analytics. It's over 30 games. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Cespedes versus Baez over the first 30 games.
Damn.
Cespedes was hitting 295. Baez hitting 299. 950 OPS for Cespedes. 949 OPS for Baez. 8 home runs for Baez. 10 for Cespedes. 4 stolen bases for each of them.
They're also
very, very similar.
Very similar players in that, I mean, I don't know if this is statistically correct, but just my memory with Cespedes, it always felt like he was hitting a bomb or he was striking out. Like that was, and Baez is the same way. He's either getting a huge hit or he's striking out. It's so true. They're very, very similar. I never even thought of that. So I
don't know if you saw this. I'm going to play it though.
See this.
Gregory, you know Greg?
I don't know him, but I've seen
I don't know.
the videos
I don't think I've met him in person either, but he has some type of funny song for almost every player. So when something happens, he'll then do selfie mode in front of the TV, and he goes for it. So let me play this because I thought this was oh wait, did I actually? I hope this plays.
Oh, I don't know if the audio works.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Please stand by.
Yeah.
This is the technical difficulty.
No, it's not technical. I just want to. Okay, stop. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Because it's not nearly as great if you don't get the audio.
No, you have to listen to
there
it.
It goes.
Okay.
Share audio. Boom. Okay.
Francisco Lindor, when he hits the ball, I feel a ball. I feel so much anymore. Francisco.
Phenomenal.
I just imagine if this man has like a dog or a cat sitting on the couch watching, like.
No, I think he has I'm not sure. I think he has kids. He definitely has kids too.
Yeah.
So it'd be funny too, like, oh, what's that? There's that again. Downstairs singing to himself at midnight. On a Sunday
night. It was like after midnight on a Sunday.
Kids got school today. He's downstairs singing about Francisco.
That's amazing.
It's whenever I hear that theme, that song, it's I don't know. I'm a big Step Brothers guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it because you're probably like 8 when it came out.
I will admit I've never seen that whole movie.
Oh my
through,
God.
But I've seen every big scene. It's really just I've never sat down and watched it, but I have seen it. I know the scene you're talking about.
You're insane. All right, guys. So we're seeing the comments come through here, and I should have done this sooner, but share the show if you want to be put in the running for some free Mets stuff this week. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure we'll be getting it soon from the Mets. This Friday, they're doing the black Pete Alonso t-shirt.
Ooh.
Saturday's fireworks night, so we can't give you fireworks, but Sunday, I don't know what they're giving away, but I'm sure we'll get whatever the giveaways are.
Fun.
And then you'll be put in the running to win next week. We'll get to last week's winners towards the end of the show. That was for the pencil case, the Mr. Met and Mrs. Met back to school pencil case. But yeah, thanks to the Mets for that. But let us know where you're watching from in the comments. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, and we always like to give you a quick shout out depending on where you might be. Back to Pete Alonso.
Okay.
This was not a great series for Pete Alonso.
No.
He left 9 men on base over the 3 games. And yesterday he had his stash in the beginning of the game. Did you notice he shaved it?
I didn't
during
watch the
beginning.
beginning.
This is not the first time he's done that. I feel like he has shaved
He's such an alien. I love him.
during the game before.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard this before too. I don't remember it, but I remember.
But he definitely shaved
mid-game.
last night mid-game. And I was watching the tweets. I wasn't paying attention to his facial hair at the beginning of the game, but someone else noticed. And then somewhere through the game, I guess he had another, he left another man on base last night.
I love it. I just love like thinking of his thought
Superstition.
process mid-game. Be like, fuck it, let's go. I'm shaving my mustache.
People are very superstitious.
I love it. No,
especially players.
I will say, I thought he had that home run on the 9/11 game. I
Oh, yeah.
thought he had it.
It wasn't
screaming.
as close as you thought.
Off the bat, it sounded good, especially with like the Fox mics. It's so loud.
Yeah.
It sounded so good. And then the crowd starts screaming because anything in the
Well,
air
you
they
definitely
scream.
watched that from home, right?
Yes.
So we're going to get to that in a second. But
Yes.
let's give a quick shout out here. Timothy Mcbride in Jackson Heights, Evan in Patchogue. We got Stephanie in Tom's River, who used to be one of our callers all the time.
Oh.
We have Sonny in Portland. We have Jeremy in Remsen, New York, College Point, Queens in the house. I think I saw we got Duel checking in from Chicago, Jim Bork in Daytona. So thank you guys for checking in each week. So I want to get to this because I was there for the ceremony, obviously.
Mhm.
And I'm a sucker for bagpipes. When the
Yeah.
honestly, like I was like tearing up a little bit, very emotional day. And I feel like this year hit me harder than most. Like watching in the morning and the names being read and the wives and the daughters and sons who are now like adults reading and my dad, who I've never met. The people are 20 years old.
Crazy.
My dad I've never met. Saturday was an emotional day, and I was disappointed to hear that the ceremony was like cut off
It was
a couple
so
times.
annoying.
They put commercials
They
in
kept
there.
putting commercials in between.
But
and
how? Like, how do you miss stuff that's part? Like the ceremony was like seamless.
I
There's
know.
no breaks.
They would do like 1 or 2 commercials in between, like the girl sang, what did she sing? America the Beautiful was the first song. Then they did a
And
commercial.
she did like a second verse, which I don't think I've ever heard.
So I looked it up.
He stopped
'cause I
and
was
cheered, and then she started up again.
I looked it up. Apparently, it's like a whole poem. There's like 9 verses to that
Oh,
song.
wow.
But they only ever sing the first one because then it gets excessive. But the one that she sang just so perfectly fit the day. I think that's why she threw it in there. But I couldn't believe she was a 17-year-old.
Oh, wow.
I was like, the pressure this kid has right now on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 Mets Yankees, 17 years old. All right, go ahead, go sing for the country. She did awesome, so good job to her. But apparently it's like
I guess like
song.
like obligations on Fox. Was it on Fox?
It was Fox, but it was it was Fox.
But how do you not go
That's what I was
commercial free and then just bump up the a little extra commercials
not
in
only
between after that?
Not only that, but then like when they would come back from the commercials, they'd have like A-Rod and Poppy and all them like commentating and then go back down. It was just
That
like
was a pain in the ass too. You know where they were set up?
I know, right next to you
oh
guys,
my
right?
God, the bottleneck of people,
Nightmare.
or is that even the right word? Whatever, like the traffic of trying to get into the section, because there's the two aisles or the two walkways for the stairs, and the one that I walked down on the left, it was
blocked.
It was maybe as wide enough for like one person to walk through between that bar, the Jim Beam bar, and like their stage setup.
Yeah.
And people are like trying to get autographs from like A-Rod. Like, who cares?
It's A-Rod.
I guess because the Yankee fans were there, but like,
okay, thank you, but still, but it was so funny in the broadcast. They were talking about Piazza's home run before the game, and A-Rod was like, "Oh, I remember sitting on my couch as a fan watching that game, and he hit that home run and jumping up and going crazy." And like somebody looked it up, and he was like literally playing a baseball game that day. He was in the majors,
making it up.
Yeah, like literally, just shut up. Like
Yeah.
I get you were a Mets fan, and that's fine, and you could speak to that. But like, why are you blatantly lying?
Right,
like, why
right.
are you making shit up? Whatever.
Well, it's like the LaDuca, not to change the subject, but LaDuca had he got sued. He had to pay money to Cowboy Joe West, the umpire, the oldest, not the oldest, but like he's umpired the most
longest
games.
tenure.
You can Google it.
Yeah.
He said something that was false about Joe West, and something where like he wasn't even in that game, or something came up afterwards. Like the facts.
Oh,
came
so was
out,
it like
and
defamatory?
he got caught. Yeah. And he had to pay like a lot of money.
Wow.
Like a big lawsuit, like over the past 6 months, I think it came out.
Defamation, that's a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So we are going to get to Big Apple trivia in a little bit, but first and foremost, we have to give a special shout out to who else but Coors Light.
Of course.
I was taking care of the Coors Lights at the tailgate party the other day. I was going in on them, and we brought some extras for our friends, and we were celebrating responsibly, of course, in the parking lot. But it's
As you
funny
always
because
should.
we have some cases here, and I also ordered mine on as you should too, CoorsLight.com/OABT. But I wanted to spread the wealth, and I get on the mic and I'm like, hey guys, we got some drinks over here. Kelly goes, we have to save some for the reverse tailgate. You're giving away all the drinks. And I'm like, it's all good. Like we brought it for the people, So,
but also that reverse tailgate was at like midnight.
Yeah, and I was like, I said that to her. I was
Yeah.
like, we are not hanging out after this game.
Yeah.
I'm getting the F
I'm
out of
going
this
to
parking
bed.
lot. I'm going home. Especially as the driver, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out after the game. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So you guys should absolutely load up on your own Coors Lights. We have a lot of games coming up this week, and the easiest way for you to do that is to go on CoorsLight.com/OABT. You type in your birthday here, and then it'll give you options of where you could pick your stuff up. I'll type mine in so you guys can, maybe write it down.
Should we type in mine after?
Maybe send me
just to compare?
something. Yeah. So you buy your beer online, you type in your zip code, and then on the bottom gives you the options of where you can pick it up. So Coors Light, great friend of the show. We appreciate all their support. We love drinking it. It's always refreshing, especially after a nice weekend that we just had, celebrating 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. So if you want to load up this week, sit back, relax, take off your bra, chill, whatever you want to do, and enjoy your Coors Lights. We have a stacked 18 games on deck, and anything can happen. So you want to be refreshed and reset yourself.
I'm going tonight. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You better
I got
pick up
excited.
some Coors Lights when you get there.
I will.
So Julie will be there tonight celebrating responsibly with the
course.
Coors Light. So CoorsLight.com/OABT. Always remember to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. So you are going.
I'm sorry, I got very excited. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I haven't been to a game at Citi Field in months.
We talked about that before we went live. When in the beginning of the season, when it was like, it's so crazy to think about. You still had to get a rapid test.
Yeah.
Vaccines weren't available to us yet. And, the hoops you had to jump through just to go to a game. But we wanted to do it because we missed baseball so much.
I was getting so many rapid tests. I was getting like 3 a week because the PCRs, I would never be able to get them the day where it's like, okay, you'll be set for that series. I'd have to get rapids every single day.
You saw the news today? You have to now be vaccinated to go in any of the clubs.
Really?
It came out like an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm sure you got some, you got good tickets for tonight. Where are you sitting?
I am.
Not that you want people to come visit you.
No, that's fine. I have really good seats. I'm going with my friend Justin, the one who joined us in Philly, because he's actually a big Cardinals fan. So he was coming in from Philly with the Cardinals series. Him and his girlfriend were going. We're sitting. I know. I told you his girlfriend is a Phillies fan. So he supports Phillies on her behalf because they live in Philly, but he is a Cardinals fan. So we're going tonight. And we're sitting, I believe, on the third base side, like front row or a couple seats up from front row. So kind of like,
so you love that spot.
I love that spot. That's where I was for David's last game. So right around there.
Are you going to make a sign?
I don't have time. I guess I could. I haven't made a sign for a game, honestly, since that night.
Maybe you got a busy day, but you should have made a sign.
Okay, I wasn't prepared.
You'll be in the paper tomorrow.
Maybe. All right. If
Put
I
a
have
QR
time.
code on there. For your dog walking business.
I will try and whip up a sign. I wouldn't even know what to say. I got it. My brain is goo today, but whatever. It's fine.
I don't know if you guys, I doubt you guys can hear this, but there's a cricket in our offices here. Maybe it's more than one, but I almost feel like we have a pet.
I know. It's kind of nice.
But I thought it would die by now. What do crickets
I think
eat?
they
Bugs?
just reproduce.
I hope not,
I think
because then we'll have a bunch of them. But as we walked in this morning, Lizzie, Drew, and myself walked in. I'm like, still have crickets.
Still here.
But I kind of don't mind it. It's like soothing.
Nice. Yeah, it kind of makes you feel like you're like in nature.
Feels like we're in the woods a little bit.
Camping.
With a camera and some big lights here. What was I going to get to?
I don't know.
Something next. We are going back to Brooklyn next summer.
Ooh.
So the Cyclones hit me up. I actually hit them up saying, hey, what's your schedule like? Because we have our outings planned and we'd like to schedule them. So we're not going to try to overlap too much with like the home and away games. I crossed out the date.
Oh my God.
Why?
Do you know what day that is?
Is it important?
Yes.
Oh, no. Maybe I have to change the date.
Darren, you did.
Is that really the date?
Yes.
Okay. So we can't say it because they didn't schedule. Is that really the date?
That's the date.
Oh, my God.
Darren.
All right. So that's not going to be the date. But I didn't cross it out for that reason. I crossed it out because we're not allowed to talk about it
yet. You were fucking with me when you put that there.
No.
My God. You better hope she doesn't watch this show.
I forgot. I'm sorry. So that's not going to be the date. But the reason why I crossed it out was not that reason. I crossed it out because the Cyclones aren't ready to announce their schedule yet. Okay. But I heard a little birdie told me 3:00 today, if anyone's interested in the Cyclones, 3:00 today, they are going to be announcing their schedule. And that's when I was going to say the date. But I almost said the date just now, and then you were going to yell at me.
Oh, my God. This is the
Only some people know what's going on here, but Zappa is one of them because he probably knows why you're laughing.
We've talked about it before. Like, she's gonna see and she's gonna know. We could just openly say it. This is my friend Katie's wedding day that she has reminded Darren like 8 times. This is my wedding day. Do not make an outing this day. Do not be motocrossing this day. You have to come to my wedding.
Yeah, sorry.
Definitely talked about it on the show before.
But honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do because there's not many days that work. So, like, I might not be able to go to the wedding. No, I'm joking.
She's going to burst through the doors and just...
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is too funny.
All right. I'm joking. I'll be at the wedding. So we're going to change the date. I'm going to have to hit the Cyclones up after this this stream and change that. So sorry about that. But... yeah, that was actually pretty fun.
Amazing.
So we are going to get to Big Apple Trivia in a second. I've never done this before, and I hope it works right. So I'm going to now copy this link to join.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to send a tweet out. So if you're on Facebook, quick, just like transfer over for a second to Twitter. And the tweet will have the link if you're watching on YouTube as well. I think it's the easiest way for me to do this. Talk amongst yourself for a second.
Okay. I'm actually...
Tell people what Big Apple Trivia is.
Oh, yes. If you didn't watch Big Apple Trivia during our heavier pandemic times last year, basically it was me alone in my basement on Instagram Live. How this works is, and I think we're playing all 4 rounds if
someone gets through.
All right, so we're gonna have one person play, and there's 4 rounds, so they increase in difficulty. The first round is the first base round. That's when I ask you a super duper easy multiple choice question.
You have all this? I didn't print it out.
I have it.
All right, good.
I'm good. If you get that right, you move on to the second base round. The second base round is when I give you 3 clues describing a player, team, number, something, and you have to tell me who or what I'm describing. If you get that right, you go on to the third base round, which is Darren's favorite, which is when I give you a category that has multiple correct answers, and in 60 seconds, you need to give me X number of correct answers, whatever that may be. And if you get that right, you go to the home plate round, which is the hardest round. It's just a straight up Mets trivia question that I ask you, and you have to give me an answer. No help offered. But I did insert the attempt to steals. So if you are stuck on a question, you get 1 per game, not per round, and you can make each question a little easier. So if you need a hint, let me know. But I think we are just taking 1 person, and it's as far as
but look how cool this is. So like,
this is kind of fun. I'm getting like the nerves that I used to get though when you never know who you're about to bring on a live broadcast.
Well, listen, guys, if you're in the waiting room, you have to have your camera visible.
Oh yes, let me go over the important ground rules. Camera must be visible. Because there is a chat on the side of the screen, and I encourage people to play along and write in their answers. Your eyes have to be closed while we do this. So if you're not okay with closing your eyes on camera, don't play. Don't make it weird. Please just be normal. My parents watch this. My grandmother watches this sometimes. So let's all just be cool. And yeah, that's basically it. Don't cheat and don't be weird.
But you know what's cool? Like when you used to do this on Instagram, you didn't know who you were clicking.
Oh my
God.
Now
you could see the names.
Oh, that is cool. We
you
can actually
see the pictures.
See the
you see their cameras on.
Yeah, those are whirlwinds.
So that's cool.
It was
all right.
scary.
So we will get to these people in a second. If you're late to join, we're gonna pick someone in a second. I touched on this for a second, so I do want to talk about it because if you're going to the game tonight and you're not vaccinated, you might be in for a shock. So effective today, guests 12 years and older will be required to show proof of receipt of at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine in order to enter and or dine in the Citi Field indoor restaurants. The Mets posted a link about this a little while ago on Twitter if you want to click and find out more info on that. I guess it's kind of easy though. I haven't had to show my proof in a while, but if you have the Excelsior pass, I think it just links to your name. But I'm not sure if they had put out something prior that said there was going to be an effective day because let's say you had tickets behind the plate for tonight and they have those like that steakhouse area.
Yeah.
Can you not walk through there without the, you know what I mean? Can you get to your seats without?
You'd have to give money back if that's the case, because if people weren't vaccinated, they wouldn't have bought those seats if they wouldn't have the full access for everything that comes with it. Because half the fun of those cool seats is like all the clubs and all the dining experiences.
And like the left field area with all the glass.
Yeah.
Like if you had tickets to that area, you can't go anymore tonight. So I don't know if they had reached out to these fans prior or if this is just totally out of the dark or, out of the blue, whatever it is. But yeah, so
we'll see.
That's a story on that. So we are going to get to Big Apple Trivia now.
Okay.
Do you want to select?
No.
You don't want to select?
I don't. I'm just going to let you surprise me. I will also say, guys, Darren asked me to do this about 2 hours ago. I was walking dogs while I made these questions. So fact checkers, be on your A game. I think they're all correct,
There
but
was something I was going to talk about before, but I didn't because I thought that maybe it was going to be an answer. But anyway,
Okay.
all right. So we are going to get to the contestant now. I'm going to bring them in. Oh, the person I was just about to click is gone. All right, here we go. There we go. Add to stream. Hopefully this works.
Okay.
If you can, put your phone horizontal so you'll fill the screen up if you can hear me. There you
we go.
So we have Timothy Mcbride. What's up, Timothy?
We got audio.
Turn your audio on.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, there we
What's
go.
going on, guys? Sorry.
Where are you from, Timothy? I
Jackson Heights.
I recognize your hat as well. So thanks for rocking 7 Line.
Yeah, boy.
You said Jackson Heights?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to let
Awesome.
Julia take it away.
All right. Hello.
All right.
Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful. I was at last night's game, so I'm wonderful today.
So you're having a great day. Love it. All right.
No.
So you heard the rules of Big Apple Trivia. You know how to play?
Debatable.
You'll get
All
it.
right. Basically, I'm just going to ask you questions. You just have to keep your eyes closed so you can't read the chat and cheat. And just
Okay.
tell me your answer, okay? So the
Perfect.
first question is a multiple choice question. It's super duper easy. We start easy and we get harder, okay? So here
All
we
right.
go. Please close your eyes. And again, this is all Francisco Lindor themed trivia. What
Okay.
player also came to the Mets from the Indians in the trade made for Francisco Lindor this offseason? Was it A, Javier Baez, B, Kevin Pillar, C, Cookie Carrasco, or D, Jonathan VR?
Carrasco.
Correct. I don't have my bell. Oh, good. You have the soundboard.
Come
Look
on.
at that. Amazing.
Ooh.
Good job, Timothy. I said we
Thank you,
start
thank
easy.
you.
So I will also remind you, you do have your attempt to steal. If a question is super duper hard, I can give you a hint, but you can only use it once per game, not per round. So use it wisely.
Wonderful.
Okay. We are going on to the second base round. I'm going to give you 3 hints describing a team. You have to tell me what team I am describing, okay?
Yep.
Here we go. What team did Francisco Lindor face for only the second time in his career this season, having spent his first 6 seasons in the American League? The team the Mets were facing when the Rat Raccoon incident took place between Lindor and Jeff McNeil, and that Lindor had 3 hits and scored the game-winning run against later this year in a start Madison Bumgarner went just 2 innings for said team. What team am I talking about? If you don't know, I can make it a multiple choice question, and that is your attempt to steal.
I do believe I would say the Giants.
It is not the Giants. I am sorry. Bumgarner is actually with the Arizona Diamondbacks these days.
That's right. That's right.
I know, it was a tricky one. Darren is cracking up because he got to use his fart button. Timothy,
Yes.
I am so sorry, but thank you so
All
much
good.
for playing. That was a tricky one, I know.
Yeah.
But,
Thank you
good
guys so
job.
much.
No problem.
How we going?
You too, guys. Thank you.
I love this. Do you want to keep going?
I was going to say, do you want to bring somebody in to do the third base round, which you love? We could just do that. I could do the last 2 questions for 2 different people.
Sure.
If you want.
Okay, let's do that.
If you want.
So let's get if you could hold your camera sideways. We got Brandon checking in right
There we
now,
go.
and make sure your audio is on. What's up, Brandon? Where are you from?
Oh, what's going on? I'm from Fort Myers,
Awesome.
Florida.
Awesome.
All right, so I don't know if you heard the question.
Okay, so the third base round question is when I'm going to ask a question with multiple correct answers, and you need to give me X number of correct answers in 60 seconds. I'm going to need you to set up a timer because I have to look at the
Okay,
list. So
hold
just
on
give
1
us 2
second.
seconds
Live show.
for Darren to pull up a
All
timer.
right, and I'm ready when you are.
No. Do the time. You're going to watch?
I start this when you finish the question.
I know,
right?
but you're going to watch that it hits 60
yes,
seconds.
of
Okay.
course.
All right. So here we go. So your time will start when I'm done asking the question. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Over the course of the 2021 season, 13 different players have shared a defensive infield with Francisco Lindor. This excludes players at the pitcher and catcher position. So just first, second, and third, because he's at short. In 60 seconds, name 10 of them. Ready? Go.
Guillorme,
Mhm.
VR, Baez,
Yep.
McNeil,
Yep.
how many is that so far?
You're at 4.
Uh,
I'll give you a hint. Think about first base.
not Alonso.
Yeah. He's played first base with Lindor on the
Any
field.
infielder.
Yeah. Any infielder he's been on the field with.
Oh, I thought you just meant shortstop.
No, you're good. Keep going. Just name infielders.
Davis, Smith,
Mhm.
Blankenhorn,
Yep.
and
2 more. You got it.
8 seconds.
I don't know.
He got all the easy ones. I'll give him that. And I will say
That's a
that
minute.
the attempt to steal
Yeah.
was if you
Oh, I
don't
should've
think you
missed
get
that.
10 named 8, but it's fine. But anyway, so you got the easy ones. The hard ones were Brandon Drury. We've got James McCann played first base. Pat Mazeika played first base, the second game of a doubleheader in Colorado. Wilfredo Tovar, Jose Peraz. I don't know if you said him, but I think that's it. But honestly, you did great. That's a hard question because there's been a lot of obscure players on the Mets this year. So good job. It's Darren's favorite question.
I
so.
love it. All right, Brandon, thanks a lot. Oh, that went actually a lot smoother than I thought.
I know. Could have
So
been
I think we
worse.
should do that again in the future.
Do we want to do the last question as a question to the chat, or do you want to just keep talking?
I have other stuff to talk about.
Then let's talk.
during the
Fine
show.
by me. Let's
So
go.
we can get to some more stuff. Maybe we'll bring that in a second.
If
But
we're feeling fancy.
yeah, we are feeling a little fancy today. So I kind of glanced over this, but I know that you had noticed this prior, and I forgot to talk about it during the ceremony and the day in general, 9/11.
Oh yes,
Joe Quinn from Feltman's
Yep.
was the veteran of the game.
it was awesome.
And do they show it on TV?
You know what?
Because SNY does.
Usually SNY will show like their whole montage, their whole package, whatever, and then being introduced. All they did was just like show him standing there with his family, and they're like, "Oh, that's
Okay.
our veteran of the game." And I was annoyed because I wanted to see the whole thing because I was very excited that it was Joe. But
Yeah. Well, it was emotional.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was standing there with his family. Not only was he the veteran of the game, his brother passed away in 9/11.
Yeah.
So there on Saturday morning, before the reading of the names started and stuff, we got up kind of early, around 7 a.m. ish or whatever. We put on CBS Channel 2, and there was a whole piece on him, his brother.
oh,
It was
really?
awesome.
Wow.
And I don't know if CBS reposted it. I tweet about it if anyone happened to miss it. But if you can catch out the replay on that, it was awesome. Really
Awesome.
really great piece about the whole family. So
Yeah,
if you
all
can
of
check that out.
the tributes and everything this year, and I know 20 years. It's obviously this is like a word to use, but like a milestone year. So I get it. But everything was really well done this year. It was, like you said, very emotional. I feel like a lot more so than in years past. Maybe it's just because what's going on in the world. Everything's a little heavier, but
Yeah.
the Mets, from what I saw in between commercial breaks, did a wonderful job with
Yeah, it was
taking
awesome.
ceremony,
It
so.
was great.
Yeah.
Speaking of great, Dugout Mugs did select their winner from last week.
Ooh!
So Matthew P. I told him, just give me a name. I don't want
Yeah.
to air anybody out here if they're like bringing a friend or whatever,
Yeah.
or it's a surprise. But Matthew P. won the tickets
Let's
from
go, Matthew
the sign up
P.
through the text over the past few weeks. So shout out to Dugout Mugs for that. But if you happen to miss out, and you got to buy your own tickets, that is what it is. But Matt's getting some free ones thanks to Dugout Mugs. So thanks to them for that. So they are back to giving you guys free stuff again,
Woohoo!
which is unbelievable. So dugoutmugs.com/7line. That's how you get your free knob shot. If you don't know about Dugout Mugs yet, I don't know where you've been. Obviously, you don't watch this show because we talk about them every week. So they take the top of a baseball bat and have turned it into a 12-ounce mug. And they also use the bottom to make shot glasses. They also do wine mugs. They do bottle openers. They have a whole bunch of different options on their site. So the knob shot you can get for free just by going to dugoutmugs.com/OABT. I'm sorry, dugoutmugs.com/7line, the number 7LINE. And that's how you get your free knob shot. You have to just pay the shipping and handling because they're not going to give you something for free and mail it to you. So it costs you $8.95. But while you're there, you should also just browse the site and check out all their other options because they have the MLB license, the MLBPA license, the Cooperstown license. They have a lot of great options on there. And they're all made down in Florida by some really great people. So check them out, dugoutmugs.com. We love them. Thank you so much for your support over the past couple of years. And they do great work. So definitely check them out, bookmark their site, maybe go back during the holidays and pick up some gifts. So they are some great people. So I didn't want to rub this in last night, but before the game started, I said to Cal, listen, I have an early screeners link to watch Once Upon a Time in Queens. Do you want to watch before it's on ESPN?
Ooh.
And she
Did you
goes,
watch it?
Yeah, we watched the first couple. They've been doing screeners, or showings.
Mhm.
They did one in Central Park.
Yeah.
They did one at Citi Field, where they show you like part 1 and part 2 because it's like 4 hours long. So they're not
Yeah.
gonna make people sit at Citi Field for 4 hours, but
Right.
I'm sure the fans would. But it was great so far.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many more ways can you tell the story of the '86 Mets?
Uh-huh.
But there's the Bad Guys one has been out for a long time. There's been other documentaries. ESPN already did like the Doc and Darryl story.
Mhm.
So it's not the same though. Like
Yeah.
this thing must have cost a lot of money. They just from like a creative side of it, like the amount of footage that they've been pulling from, the music they've been using, like Beastie Boys are in it. Like it's great. Like the soundtrack's awesome.
Very
the footage is
80s.
great. It's Yes, it starts actually in the 70s because it shows
Okay.
like the sale of the team to Doubleday, Frank Cashin coming in, the blackout in New York City in the 70s where like the place just got torn apart. And it's great. It's like a history lesson on not only the Mets, but like the city.
I want to watch that.
It's great. So we're 2 in. We're going to watch another one tonight before the game because I think that it starts tomorrow and Tuesday, tomorrow and Wednesday on ESPN. But like, I mean, not everyone that watches 30 for 30s are fans of the team, but like the Mets game's on tomorrow night. So like, I understand they need primetime eyeballs on the thing.
Right.
But it would be great if they put it on like Thursday when the Mets are off.
When the Mets are off, yeah.
So I'm glad I got to watch it a little early.
Maybe,
So I wasn't trying to rub it in. But no, you know what it is? I would certainly, I'm sure they'd be okay with it. But the way the link works, when you click it, it records your or keeps track of
like
your IP address.
That's
and in
smart.
the corner of while you're watching it, it says the date, the time, your IP address, and like everything. So like if you were to screenshot it, they would know where it came from.
They have to do that. So
they got to protect themselves.
No, but I obviously, I was born in 95, not 86 or anywhere. Whatever. I was not alive. So obviously, I feel like anybody who's a Mets fan knows like the basic 1986 story, whatever. But I definitely don't know close to everything and all those little. So that's, I think, for younger people, also people who were there, but people who are just big Mets fans now who love Keith Hernandez, love Ron Darling, love those guys. I'm sure they
do a great job with it because the way that it's laid out is where it's, part one is basically introducing you to each character. Yeah. So it's like they do like a 5-10 minute thing on Doc. A little thing on Darryl Strawberry. They introduce you to Lenny Dykstra, who's a freaking train wreck.
That was the name.
So like Ron Darling, Bobby Ojeda came over from the Red Sox to the Mets, and in the spring training season of '86, he walked into the locker room and he's like, "What is going on with these? Like, what am I walking into here? Because these guys are just nuts." Yeah. But there was one part where obviously Gary Carter has passed away. They're all talking about Gary and his likability and like they were like, Gary never met a camera he didn't like. The light was on and he was there. Like it's great. And he was mic'd up during. I'm sure anyone who went to Citi Field or Central Park have already seen this clip. But he was mic'd up during spring training in '86, and they were practicing a rundown play. And Mookie Wilson was on the base pass. Gary Carter was on first base. I don't know who was on second or playing short. I don't know who was doing the relay with him, but throwing the ball back and forth. And Mookie ran towards first. Gary threw the ball back. When he turned his head, Mookie got hit right in the face by the ball, like bad, where the whole team was surrounded him. His glasses shattered. He had like fragments of glass around his eyes. And that's what brought more eyeballs onto Dykstra. Like, how is Dykstra going to fit on this team? We're like, all right, I guess we're going to have to bring in this like 5'7" scrappy tobacco chewing player to be on the team. Not to be on the team,
But that's such a like unique little anecdote of
or even
how
just
that
to have
happens.
Gary mic'd up during spring training. 80s. Like,
I was just going to say, having anyone mic'd up in 86 seems weird to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
so
awesome.
I highly recommend it so far. I mean, honestly, I'm only 2 in, and I'm of course, like, I'm sure like they're going to hit you hard on 3 and 4, like the more juicy, but the beginning is like kind of setting the tone.
It's 4 parts?
4 part.
Wow.
So maybe we'll get to it tonight. They're each like 50 minutes long, but obviously with commercials for like, the commoners.
Yeah. Not you.
I'm joking. But so that's the deal with it. So that's something you guys should definitely check up on. White Castle, which I don't eat anymore, is 100 years old today. Do you eat White Castle? Do you eat fast food?
No, I will occasionally.
I know during the pandemic you were ordering from that taco
spot.
spot.
No, a Cactus Cafe. I was getting a burrito every single day.
Their orange sauce is amazing. We buy it to go. They bottle it and sell it to go.
The Cactus Cafe is amazing if you live anywhere nearby. But no, I don't. I'll have McDonald's occasionally, like if I'm rushing and like need something quick. But I don't regularly eat fast food. No, and I've never had White Castle in my life.
What?
No.
And you're like, it's nuts. Like we've talked about this before. Like the guy who was dressed as a White Castle burger for Halloween now doesn't eat meat. Like very strange turn of events.
Gross.
But what would be your number one?
McDonald's.
You know that like what do you think what chain do you think has the most fast food restaurants in America? Maybe the world.
I would think it's McDonald's. Is it not?
No.
What is it?
Subway.
Oh, that counts?
It's fast food.
Yeah, but it's like a sandwich.
Because they have them in gas stations and rest stops and stuff. Like anywhere you go, there's a Subway.
That's true. Honestly, even if you told me Subway counts, I still wouldn't have said Subway. So whatever. Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, Subway like got caught putting like yoga mat material in their bread.
Ew.
Like something like fluff it up. Something like you
I have never been into Subway in my entire life. I know people have gone through Subway phases. I never had a Subway phase. I always thought it was disgusting.
Oh shit, we have to get to the share contest winners. All right, so guys,
crap.
before I keep rambling here, definitely share the show.
Snap it to the chat.
Snap it to your chat if you want.
Post it on your
But post it
wall.
on your wall if you're watching on Facebook. Hit the little share button. If you're watching on Twitter, hit retweet. That is the voice of Howie Rose, who I felt bad for on Saturday because that
I
Howie
know.
would have been a big part of that ceremony. I don't know if they would have had him narrate it because there wasn't any really need for that.
Yeah.
But as far as like just being there, I'm sure that he was locked in
Yeah.
at home or wherever he's resting for the game. But we had that sign card that we
Came
had.
out so nice.
Shout out to Majo. He did that last minute for me where he painted a black and white watercolor of Howie, scanned it in, and then I did all the words and made that Howie logo for the bottom with the heart, inspired by what they had on the screen at Citi Field. But fans came to the tailgate and signed it, and I'm actually meeting up with Madge to give it to Madge, and Madge is going to give it to Howie. So, that's the story with that. So,
Awesome.
not that it was supposed to be a secret, but I know Howie does follow our account on the 7 line. So,
Yeah.
Howie, if you're watching this,
You're getting a package.
you're getting a package soon, and I'm very happy to hear. And I know a lot of Mets fans are happy to hear that the news was positive. They announced on the show on the game the other night that he went through surgery and things are looking good, and they expect a full recovery, which is phenomenal news. So
good.
Thank you for that. So let's get to Project Repat, because if you haven't ordered your t-shirt quilt yet, you're missing out. So Project Repat USA on Instagram, all you have to do is follow their account. Make sure you're wearing something orange and blue related. Maybe you're at a ballpark, maybe you're at Citi Field or on the road, and that's how they select the winner each month to win a free t-shirt quilt. If you don't happen to win or you want to just buy an extra one, we definitely recommend them. So Project Repat USA on Instagram, you could scroll through and see all the happy customers here. They basically take your old garments, your t-shirts, your jerseys, whatever your favorite piece of fabric is, basically, they'll cut it into squares and turn it into a t-shirt quilt. They have over 500,000 happy customers, and they are handmade in North Carolina and Texas. If you want to go check out their website, it's projectrepat.com, but definitely get involved on the free one, because how could you not want something for free? Project Repat USA on Instagram. They do great work, and clearly when you go to a lot of our outings, maybe you don't need a billion t-shirts and you want to do something fun with them. So we definitely recommend that. So speaking of t-shirts and outings, next week is Boston. All the Boston packages, I know you're not going anymore.
I know.
All the Boston packages have been shipped out. And did I tell you about the name tags?
Yes.
So the name tags and the packages, some people that didn't check their email were a little confused because they're like, why did I get a name tag? The shirt is Cheers themed, as we talked about last week. And I think we talked about last week.
Yes.
And if you want to write your name on it, something funny, whatever.
Where everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
That's the shtick.
Everybody knows your name. I'm not a good singer. I got to leave it up to
That was
Gregory.
actually pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Kelly says I'm not good. I'm not a
that
good
wasn't
singer.
bad. I've
Thanks.
heard worse.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So if you want to write anything on there, put it on your shirt. Meet us at the pregame party. We are going to be at Cheeky Monkey, which is right across the street from the ballpark. Last time you were down the street at a bowling alley, they were not prepared, and it was fun walking through from
chaotic.
the bar to the game and all that. But this year, we're going to be right on Lansdowne Street. I think it's called Lansdowne, but right across from the ballpark, Cheeky Monkey. It's huge. Massachusetts state law does not allow special drink specials or buybacks and stuff like that. So unfortunately, there's no like blowout on Coors Light, which we would love, but that is going to be our spot. They know we're coming. Wear your event shirt and have fun, and we'll hang out there and have a good time before we go in and hopefully watch the Mets beat the Red Sox.
Awesome.
So that's the story on that. Let's get to Peels, and that was good. I can't believe it.
It
I
was.
can't believe that was good.
It was a nice little run at the end.
Thank you.
It was good.
So let's get to last week's share contest winners. And if you're catching in a little late, you could still, get involved for next week. If you're listening afterwards as a podcast, you can always just listen to the show and then go share afterwards, because our podcast numbers have been rising and we love it. And we thank you guys
Egypt.
and appreciate it. So yeah, Egypt. Shout out to you guys in Egypt. Honestly, if you are the people who are listening in Egypt,
please contact us.
email us, because we want to know like what goes on in
What
Egypt.
is your story?
How are you a Mets fan, and why? Actually, anyone who's like far away from here that listens to the show in another country, email us and tell us how you're a Mets fan.
We'll have like
how you
International
found out
Day.
about the show, and like we'll shout you out next week on the show, because Egypt, that's freaking awesome.
Crazy.
So let's get to last week's share contest winners. We have, I actually wrote it down because I forgot to write it. Oh shit, they're on this page. So it helps if it's not upside down. On Twitter, I love this Twitter name, Ain't Easy Being Levy. So that's on Twitter and on Facebook. Ted,
Do you need help?
how would you say that last name?
I think it's a silent D.
Okay, go for it.
Zio? I don't know, because is that a silent D also?
Ted Ziadzio.
Ziadzio. I
Ted
think that's
Ziadzio.
good. Ted Ziadzio.
All right, so Ted and Ain't Easy Being Levy, you are the winners. We will hit you up and mail out your back to school pencil box with Mr. Met, Mrs. Met. If I didn't get your packages out yet over the past couple of weeks with the Kuzman bobblehead and the Syndergaard jersey, I'm going to catch up on all that this week. I promise. Yeah, kind of slacked last. Well, last week we had that. Monday was off, and Wednesday felt like Monday.
It was
last
a
week
weird
was crazy.
week. Weird week.
So we will get to that. I'll get those out in a little bit. So 18 games left. A lot can still happen for our boys, and we will see what happens. Not only in the division, but also the wild card. We're going to be playing the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. We got the Phillies coming in. All teams that we clearly have to beat. And I feel very confidently that this team is about to go on a nice stretch because they need it. And if not, then we have just 2 shows left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
we end when the season ends.
I know. It just didn't register with me that the
So
season's
otherwise,
over that
next
soon.
week, and what do they call it? Penultimate? Who just decided
Penultimate.
that
I don't
was a
know.
word?
I don't know.
Next week will be the second to last show, and then we'll close out on September 27th, which is the Monday after.
Wow.
So we'll see. Oh, and also let's give a quick shout out too, because I contacted the girls to make my pledge.
Oh, good.
So you still can do that. Allison got back to me. So
Perfect.
was it A Pot of Their Own?
Yes.
Check out A Pot of Their Own on Twitter if you want to make a pledge and raise some money for the foundation. What is it?
National Domestic Violence Hotline.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys. We will see you next week, next Monday, a little early show because I am. Is that cool with you? I kind of just decided.
I have to double
10:30
check.
maybe.
10:30. It should be fine.
Or a little earlier show next week because I'm trying to ship up to Boston, literally on the ferry.
I only walk dogs in the morning on Mondays, which is the tricky part, but I will figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All right, guys. So we will see you next week. I think we got to everything here. Oh, also the wave. Just don't do the wave.
Don't do the wave.
I didn't get to it, but I did write it down. We got the entire ballpark to boo at us the other night.
As we do every ballpark we go to. So
Which was not really.
When they do the wave, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But we don't do the wave. It's just a thing we don't do. And when it started to go around, I'm going to,
It's a Subway Series game in like the 8th inning on 9/11.
No, listen to this.
Why are we doing that?
It was the bottom of the 7th inning, Baez up, 1-run game, Mets up 6-5. Like, sorry, we're not doing the wave. And also, don't run on the field to be an asshole.
Oh my God, the
Two
worst.
different guys ran on the field, got arrested.
Assholes.
And it is what it is. So yeah, we don't do the wave. It's actually pretty funny. The amount of videos that went up online afterwards of people being like,
so
"What are you
salty.
too good for the wave?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." Kind of like we're trying to like watch the game and let's
not being too good. It's just like we paid to watch the game. I don't want to woo.
The wave thing. The reason why people are kind of against it is while it's circulating, you're not watching the game at all. You're
watching the wave.
You're cheering on other people stand up out of their seat. And like I get it that like you're supposed to have fun and enjoy yourself and not trying to poo-poo on anyone's good time. But as far as we're concerned, I feel like let's try to cheer on the team and watch the game.
I feel like it's only
each other.
distracting to the players. And like when your team is up at bat, why are you trying to distract your own team? I don't know. Whatever.
That's very strange.
My thought.
All right, guys. So we will see you next week. And hopefully it's another happy Monday. And we will chat with you guys about it. So that's it. I was looking for my little button here.
Where is it?
How do I not have it? Oh my God, here it goes. All right, see you guys.
That's a nice one.
I'm Keith Hernandez.
Okay.
All right, one more.
This is absurd. I'm sorry. It's not a laughing matter.
All right, see you guys next week.